5 viewers. Nice.
Look at that. Famous. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the DFS Dose YouTube channel. Monday streams doing the $5.55 Drafters Early Best Ball Championship. We've done a couple of these now, and I'm ready to once again draft the best team, hands down. Did it last week, and I'm going to do it again.
No. I mean, your team last week was terrible, but hopefully, not hopefully. I know you're going to draft a better team this week, so.
Thank you. Yeah, it wasn't my best team. It was hella dusty. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. One more drafter, so if you're watching this, hop in. It's only $5.55. Early Best Ball Championship on Drafters. 6,000 to first. Full PPR, so let's get it.
Cumulative points, which is nice. No playoff, none of that. Just score the most points, draft the best team. That's what I do best. Before we get started, how you feeling? Are you ready? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's 5 o'clock here.
Oh, facts. Yeah. So what we're doing this week, every single week on these streams, we've been trying a new craft beer. I'm trying to instill some appreciation in Joey for this. It hasn't worked yet. I'm not going to lie. I don't think he's liked any one of these.
No.
Maybe Fat Tire. It's from Colorado. I know the dude. I know the story. The guy was like biking around in Europe, like trying different beers, and this was the one he liked, so he recreated it. I don't know. Some shit like that. It's an amber. Nice, easy drink. Cheers, bro.
It's not bad. I don't mind this one.
I like this one as well.
It's better than the one last week. The one last week was terrible. God.
Yeah, that shit was ass. I know.
This one is pretty good.
All right. Pretty good. That's the best we've gotten so far out of you. I like that.
It just tastes like your average beer when you go out, go out to the bar, get a nice beer. It's probably, something that I would get.
All right. We're making progress. All right. So Joey fucks with the ambers. I'm gonna
all right.
One more drafter. Where are these people at?
This always happens. Like we start the stream up with like 1 or 2 drafters left, and then takes a while for people to get in here. So this
Any big
contest
NFL news?
Not really. People are just talking about like Mac Jones. Supposedly might get drafted at number 3, going to San Fran. I don't think so. I think that Mac Jones is probably going in the top 15, but I don't think he's a top 5 pick. I think Justin Fields is the guy for the Niners, and then Trey Lance might go to Atlanta. I'd be shocked if Mac Jones goes to San Fran, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some mocks where he goes to Denver, also in the top 5 there, but I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know too much about these rookie quarterbacks. That's why on the upcoming episode of our podcast this Thursday, we're going to be joined by Matt Hicks, who is a rookie draft expert, or NFL rookie expert, I should say. And it's pretty fitting that his name on Twitter is the FF Educator, because he's going to need to educate us a little bit.
Yeah, that's for sure. Don't know much about these rookies, so looking forward to that pod, which will be out this week. Gonna be a good one.
People apparently are not happy about the Javonte Williams 40 time. That's what I saw on Twitter all morning.
What's like his 40 time?
It was like a 4 or 5 something.
So he's slow,
right? Correct.
I mean, honestly, I've been saying, I haven't watched any of these rookies, and I know some people look faster on the field than they do like in just shorts and regular clothes at the combine and whatnot. So I think game speed and real speed, it's pretty comparable, but I think if you're faster in game, then you'll be fine.
I forget who said it. I wish I could credit them, but they were saying, like, how many times do you think the average running back actually hits full speed during
Yeah.
the course of an NFL
Hardly
season,
ever.
like 3-4 times maybe per year. It's like
Hardly ever.
You're almost always going to be contacted before you get to that burst. You're rarely making an 80-yard run down the field unless you're Derrick Henry. So,
The thing that I'm wondering with this contest is I wonder if there will be some overlay. We have a month until it cuts off. Only 1,439 people have joined so far out of 6,000. Maybe it'll get filled. I don't know, but there could be some big overlay on this contest. I would keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, that's fair. If Drafters was smart, they would probably, hire someone with good streaming capabilities to start pumping out some promotion. Maybe promoting this for them.
It's all right.
We'll fill this joint up for you guys.
Tick tock. Let's get a tweet out. We need one more drafter. Let me see if I have any
clout.
Oh, the wait for this draft, man. The draft is in 1 month, so that's pretty dope. Trevor Lawrence, he's not going to the draft. He's going to watch it at Clemson. Thought that was pretty interesting. Going to have to make a couple prop bets on who he's going to hug first. That'll be a fun time. Definitely going to have like a little prop bet segment on one of these episodes before the NFL draft, just like we did last year.
We nailed some of those.
Some of them were pretty good. The Joe Burrow hugging his dad, I thought that was a stone lock. And that worked out. So
we're gonna have to do a little bit of investigation into Trevor's relationship with his parents, so we have some insight.
That's where you get the edge in betting.
Hell yeah,
is the prop bets, and then you just hit them up on Instagram and be like, "Yo, can you just hug your dad first so I can win $100?"
I know I was wrong about the draft getting hacked. That was a big thing last year. Remember with the all COVID virtual draft thing? Everyone was like, they're gonna get hacked. Didn't end up happening.
That would have been funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie. All right,
we might have to live stream the draft. Honestly, I don't know. That would be a long stream, like the first round only, obviously, but it's gonna be a lot of big fantasy options. It's going to be like a lot of wide receivers going in this first round, quarterbacks. Like it's going to be a pretty offensive heavy first round, I think, this year. So
especially in like the top 15. I could see the top 10 picks just all being offensive players, and most likely 4 quarterbacks will go within the top 6 or 7 picks.
So there will be at least 5 quarterbacks first round, right? And then Waddle, Chase, Smith.
Yeah, those are the first rounders. Some other guys Pitts. Pitts. I think Bateman is up there now too. And then you'll see some corners go in the top 15, and obviously some offensive linemen. But other than that, it's going to be quarterback heavy to start. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think there's ever been a draft where the first 4 picks have been all quarterbacks ever. So could be in for a great draft come 1 month from today, actually. So
1 month from today. That's exciting.
April 29th is when the NFL draft starts. So that is going to be a good time. Oh.
I'm gonna tweet this out one more time from my Twitter.
Just want to draft.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
If you're watching this hop in this draft.
Right.
Come draft with us. We'll criticize your team as you go, and everything will be all everything will be all great. Oh, there we go. Let's go. 2 minutes.
Let's go.
2 minutes. We're in this.
Oh boy. You see what I see? Me and you.
Oh yeah.
I'm sniping your shit all draft, bro.
I'm sniping you. What are you talking about?
Nah.
But anyways, we got a couple sharks in this lobby. I'm not gonna lie. 98 drafts already. 63, 56. Look at me.
3.
I'm like a little guppy. I'm a little fish in the pond.
This is a guppy lobby.
2.
Oh. Hey, at least you're not the most amateur drafter here on the field.
Yeah.
What are we doing, bro? Only got 2 in here. I mean, shit, I only got 5. I gotta turn up. Like, I've done like 40 drafts. It's mostly like cash game stuff, but 5th one of these. Got to do better than last week. Got to. My team was dog water.
Smack in the chat. All right. 24 seconds. 24 seconds.
1.6. You're in prime position to get Travis Kelce.
All right. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
So on the clock, foosball, 101.
At least 2 of these guys were in the draft last week. Foosball was, and I'm pretty sure Mensa Ball was too.
But will you win the entire contest is the real question. Yes. Dalvin Cook, 101. Switching it up, huh?
Ooh.
Okay.
Foosball.
I like it.
That's bold. Nothing wrong with a little bit of boldness off the top. Camaro.
Dalvin Cook, 101. I personally don't agree with it, but I mean, we talked about it before. His situation is pretty much the same, and a lot of these other guys' situations are changing. So, I mean, he's also a great running back too. Don't get me wrong.
I just don't like not taking McCaffrey with the 101 because it's so hard to get him anywhere else. All right, big 5 off the board. JT, that's what you're about?
Jonathan Taylor at the 106.
I like it. For me, I'm going to go and I'm going to take the player that I think has the absolute highest ceiling on a week-to-week basis of any player in the league right now. Simple.
Tyreek Hill over Devontae and Kelce?
Gimme. That's a man who can get 300 yards in a game. I want it. I mean, Adams, obviously, super solid too. I mean, the way I'm looking at it this year, I think that Hill, Adams, and Diggs are all kind of in the same tier, top tier. Hopkins, right in that range. Maybe step below. Zeke Elliott. I mean, the real question is, will my boy make it back to me? That was kind of the gamble I took there.
Who's your boy?
Running back.
For this guy right here. This guy right here.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
Could be.
Unless one of these guys are stream sniping.
Stream sniping. All right. I mean, Kelsey at 9 is a value. Adams at 10 is a value. Like, just don't do me dirty here, boys. Look at that. Aaron Jones is out there.
I think one of them's going to take him.
Nah.
Mm-hmm. Mensa ball right here.
Nah. He's going to take, like, Aaron Jones or some shit. He took Zeke, so obviously he can't be too sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, bro, if you're listening out there. All jokes. Oh, God, if he takes Cam Akers, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Yeah, buddy. Let's get it.
That makes my decision a little bit easier. I'm going to go with Aaron Jones here in the second. Get my 2 RB build.
I like it.
I mean, these 3 guys, Aaron Jones, Akers, and Eckler, I would put them in the same tier. I think they're all above Nick Chubb, though, just because they're not going to be splitting with a guy like Kareem Hunt.
Yeah. I mean, the way I'm looking at it, I think that Jones and Eckler and even Zeke and Chubb, I think they're all splitting. I think Akers is the only one who won't. I think Pollard sees more work than he saw last year. We already know what Kareem Hunt's going to do. Austin Eckler, super valuable, but he's never going to be a 25-plus touch guy. And, Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams is gone, but he's been with Green Bay for a long time. We've never seen any inclination that they're willing to make him that guy. Maybe the money, maybe that's what that is, but I'm still expecting, Aaron Jones to be a 65% snap player with A.J. Dillon seeing an expanded role this year. So I don't know. I think Akers has the highest upside to be a true 3-down back out of this whole tier of guys.
Yeah, I just think Aaron Jones has a little bit more reception upside as he's basically the number 2 wide receiver in that offense.
Has been for a long time.
Besides Adams. So he's going to be a guy that will get you touchdowns. We've seen it over the last 2 years. He's going to be a guy that will get you receptions. And then on a full PPR site like Drafters, it's extremely valuable. So I'm fine with grabbing him in the middle of the second round. I think that's a solid value on Aaron Jones on one of the best offenses in the NFL. Honestly, I don't see much difference between Aaron Jones and Jonathan Taylor's situation. I know I got both of them, but Jonathan Taylor is going to lose work to Naheem Hines in the passing game, and I mean, he can catch passes. Don't get me wrong, but
I will seeing Dobbins and Gibson falling. That's the first time I've seen them in the 3rd round. I wonder if ADP is starting to really shift on these guys. CEH.
Yep.
I like it.
Just give me the bounce back season on CEH over Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs, James Robinson.
I mean, frankly, I feel like I need to start going to meetings because I'm just absolutely addicted to drafting James Robinson in the 3rd. That's the easiest pick of all time. I'm doing it every single time.
Yeah, I think he's a value. For me, obviously, I think CEH is. If I rank them, I would rank CH higher than James Robinson, just because of the offensive environment. But I think James Robinson is a little bit better than Antonio Gibson and J.K. Dobbins.
I agree. I mean, we're going to talk about this soon on one of our Saturday videos because I know we have different opinions. But Joe Mixon, I don't know, man. I'm all about it this year. I know you're never Joe Mixon, #never Joe Mixon, but
Never Joe Mixon.
I think he has as much upside as any of these guys. Demont, Josh Jacobs, CEH, Gibson, all of them. And this right here is the first thing I want to ask Matt Hicks when he joins our next episode of the podcast. Should we be taking Najee Harris and Travis Etienne here? Are they worth taking in year 1 fantasy production around guys like Allen Robinson, Amari Cooper, Terry McLaurin? It's a question that I keep asking myself, and I don't know if I know the answer. But I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep drafting these guys. And do I go Harris, though? Do I go Harris? Or On the fly, changed my mind real quick.
Okay.
Real quick. Let me get that stack. I'll take it. Mahomes to Tyreek Hill. Playing for first here. Not a stack I'd like more out there.
Debating right now in my head.
What you thinking?
Let me get A-Rob. Now, I was just debating between some of the wide receivers in this tier. Thinking about Amari, thinking about Julio, thinking about Terry. But I don't know. I think Robinson is a better wide receiver than all of these guys. But with mediocre quarterback play, I think that hurts his overall upside just a little bit. But I know that he can still get there with terrible quarterback play. He's done it his whole career. So.
How early are you gonna reach for Andy Dalton?
Never.
Back up.
Never. The one thing that's interesting to me is, a guy like CeeDee Lamb going above Julio. That doesn't make sense to me. Because when healthy, Julio has still shown that he can get the job done. Just it's hard for him to stay healthy, right? Especially last season.
Right.
And that's a thing with also drafting Calvin Ridley in the third or the end of the second is you're kind of banking on Julio being dust, and I don't know if he is.
See, I'm split on it because he's what I want to say he's 21 years old, coming off of a rookie season where he had 111 targets of 74 catches, 935 yards, and he did that when Dak goes out. This was the clear cut, best wide receiver pre-draft in this class last year. If Justin Jefferson is going a full round earlier, almost a round and a half, then with Dak Prescott back, I could see CeeDee Lamb really paying that off in the fourth round. It's tough. It feels like you're drafting him near his ceiling, but there's still room for him to outproduce that ADP, I think.
Yeah, but I also think there's a lot of room for Julio Jones to outproduce his ADP. If you're getting him in the fifth round, I think he's still a freak of nature. And if he stays healthy for the whole year, I'd bet money that he would have better stats than Calvin Ridley. And he would finish higher if he stays healthy. But I'm going to target another wide receiver here. Got Adam Thielen, got Robert Woods, got Deontay, T. Higgins, Kenny Galladay. Think I'm going to go with good old Robert Woods here.
Rob Woods, yeah, I don't hate that at all. Look, 40 times be damned. Javonte Williams. I think that the kid is special. Don't know anything about him, but I'm a big fan.
Big fan of a player you've never seen play before. Nice.
That's the next question I'm going to have to ask Matt when he joins our show next week, because Williams is basically in a tier of his own, right? We've got the two top guys, Harris and ETN, going, in the third round basically, and then we've got Williams in the middle here, and then you're not seeing another rookie going until after pick 100. We're looking at Chuba and Kenny Gainwell and those guys. So, I don't know. Is Williams closer to Harris and ETN than he is the rest of the backs in the class? I know the 40 time scared some people off, but the 40 time also scared a lot of people off of Dalvin Cook, if I'm not mistaken. And we all know how that story played out.
Melvin Gordon in the sixth round is a terrible pick.
Yeah, that's the worst pick of the draft so far, right? I mean,
yeah, you're taking Kenny Galladay, I'm assuming. I mean, if you don't, I am. 100%.
Kenny or Deontay? Yeah, I'll go Kenny for the upside.
Yeah, I gotta take Deontay.
It was between there. Yeah, I mean that was a toss up for me, but I feel like they were the best two players available for sure.
I was gonna take whatever one you didn't. I was gonna be happy with either. Kenny, obviously a big play threat throughout his career. Deontay Johnson, if you take away him leaving early in 4 of those games last year, he averaged more points than some of the wide receivers that finished top 5 average more points per game. So if I can get a player of that caliber in the 6th round, I think, Kenny Galladay's good. Deontay Johnson's good.
And Cooper Kupp is good. I love Kupp, who goes right after there in the 6th round. Big fan of that.
Yeah.
I did not notice initially, but this gentleman on the field who's picking 9th got Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. This 5th and 6th round pick. What are we doing here? I mean, he has Diggs, so I guess I'd get the Josh Allen. But what are we doing here? 2 quarterbacks in the top 6.
Took Dak, doesn't have Cooper or Lamb. Chase Edmonds in the 6th round. Please go back to the pod or wherever, or the video where I literally called this happening. Did I not?
I think you even said 6th round.
It's not a reach unless they draft somebody.
Which they will.
We don't know that. The reports are that Cliff believes that Chase can be a bell cow. And the opportunities that Chase has had, he's had games of 29 touches, 30 touches. Like, I don't know. I'm telling you. He's the biggest winner of free agency so far in terms of fantasy football. 100 million%. Okay. So I get some. Chase is the most overdrafted player in fantasy right now. Got it. Okay, so I have 30 seconds. Gonna go with a wide receiver 4 right here. It's between DJ Chark and Odell for me. This is tough. Kind of just want to bet on the talent of Odell. I think he's a top 3, top 4 wide receiver in talent. But on a run first team, fuck it. I'm gonna go Chark.
Easy snap pick. Thank you. I love Odell in the 7th. I know he didn't have the greatest year last year, or really since he left New York, to be fair. But I mean, goddamn, like you said, top 5 talent in the NFL at the wide receiver position. He's still young.
Yeah,
should be a good offense.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Deshaun Watson. What a guy!
Oh, he's trolling. Oh, well, that makes it better. He's just trolling. It's not a real team. It's a joke team. Will Fuller, does he know that they're not on the same team anymore? Do you think?
Who knows? Maybe.
Stacks Herbert with Keenan Allen. That last pick there, I like that. Let's see. Guess I'll grab a wide receiver 4 here, and this is another guy. Like, I'm drafting pretty similar in these, but it's because some of these values are just so standout to me. Give me Robbie Anderson coming off of a 100-catch season and 1,000 yards with a potential quarterback improvement incoming.
Yeah, I like that pick. I have 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers, so a pretty solid start to my team. I like my receiver core a lot. I think there's a lot of upside, like my running back core a lot of upside there. So I'm going to grab a quarterback, and I'm going to grab a quarterback that I think has top 3 fantasy upside due to his rushing ability if he stays healthy.
Taysom Hill? Oh, my boy young Jalen. I like it.
And I think so. My thought process behind the pick is obviously there's some stackable players that I could pair with Jalen Hurts later in the draft. And even if I can't get one of them, I think having a quarterback that has that rushing upside, you don't necessarily need to stack a wide receiver or a tight end with them. So I think he's in the 2nd tier of quarterbacks right now, but if we're just looking back to last year's drafts, this is where like Dak and Josh Allen and Kyler were all going, was in this round right here. Was in this like tier, like round 7, round 8.
Right.
And I think Jalen Hurts is a guy that can average, 50 yards a game, and that's 5 points. So
I don't know if I could take him over Russell Wilson yet, but I think, if you're playing for first place out of, 6,000 people, I have absolutely no problem with it. I don't think I would do it in cash, but in a tournament format like this, the upside, like you talked about, it's immense. And one of the reasons Jalen Hurts is a guy that I love in these drafts is because, kind of like you were saying, he has stacking options at basically every point throughout the draft after there. So you don't really have to reach. You can get Goddard if you want. You can get Rieger at a good price if you want. I mean, hell, you could get Travis Fulgham with your final round pick if you want. Like, there's options.
100%. So I think in fantasy, I think Jalen Hurts will finish above Russell Wilson. If the Seahawks get their way, they're going to run the ball a lot. And I think that just hurts Russell Wilson's upside a lot. So Matt Stafford goes. Don't mind that pick. All right. So I could go with the wide receiver 5 here, but I'm not really too high on any of these guys.
What you mean? You see Brandon staring you in the face, right? You need a little alpha on your team. I'm not gonna lie.
Stone Beta. I think.
Oh, I was just thinking about that. All right.
Bruh, I mean, did you go and watch some tape of this kid?
I did.
He's
After we talked
disgusting.
last week, yeah. He is absolutely disgusting. I'm pretty sure he's definitely going to be an exception to the rookie tight end rule. This man's going to come in and dominate.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, like you said, in a tournament format like this, I'm just shooting for upside at this point. And getting Pitts as my tight end 1, I'm fine with that. Might go double tight end here because I don't really see too much wide receiver value at this point. But I don't know. Maybe I might get my wide receiver 5 this next pick. See,
took a little position against you there in your Aaron Jones stance with AJ Dillon. I mean, I think he's locked into 30% snaps on a weekly basis, and if Jones ever goes down, he's one of those guys. And this is the range where I'm willing to take them, especially as a running back 4. Like, I don't need him to be a week-to-week producer. He's got touchdown upside. He's a big guy. And more than anything, I think if Jones goes down, he could be a league winner.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big AJ Dillon guy, but he's gonna play 30 to 40% of snaps. So
There it goes, same sort of situation, and I love picks like that. See, this is a guy that I don't really like drafting, but I got to separate my own bias and just embrace it. I think the upside's there. Noah Fant. Are you a big Noah Fant guy?
I mean, I think he's talented, but Drew Lock is just horrendous.
That's what it comes down to for me. That's why I'm not too high on Fant, Judy, Sutton. Like, they need a change.
I like Waddle. I've actually watched some of his tape. I think he could be a good fantasy player because he has that elite track speed to break off big plays at any given moment. But I think landing spot will matter the most with him.
He's going to Detroit.
But with all that being said, I'm going to draft Devontae.
Lions are drafting Waddle. It's happening. You heard it here first.
I mean, yeah, that'll give Jared Goff a big play threat. And the Lions need one of those after Kenny Golladay left. So it wouldn't be a great landing spot, but there's no competition for targets. So,
right.
But yeah, Devontae Parker as my wide receiver 5. I mean, he's an alpha. If he can stay healthy for the whole year, the Dolphins' offense should improve. Offensive line should improve. Tua should improve. Dolphins are going to be a great team moving forward. So,
yeah, I have no issue with that.
They just they probably will draft Jamar Chase. I mean, no. If they're smart, they draft Devontae Smith.
Why? They already have Will Fuller.
Devontae Smith isn't a burner. He's an all-around wide receiver. And Jamar Chase is basically Devontae Parker. But Devontae Smith played with Tua at Bama.
Got you.
So if you can pair Devontae Smith with the quarterback in Tua, that they have that connection, that established connection already, I think that would be a better fit than Jamar Chase. But I do think Jamar Chase is a better wide receiver. But I think both will be great wide receivers in the NFL. They're both good. I mean, what Devontae Smith put up, like 2,000 yards this past season?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Something like that. All right. Waddle goes. That's a good pick for someone who could be a top 10 pick in the draft in the 11th round.
So I have 5 wide receivers, 3 running backs. Could go with Damian Harris right here. Probably not. So I'm gonna go with a wide receiver, probably. God, I think I'm in the range to kind of reach here.
Yeah, I don't hate that. See, for me, this is a range where the wide receivers, there's very little drop off from the guys that you're taking now versus the guys that you're taking 3 rounds from now.
Yeah,
I think you're targeting, high upside burners with low floors on a week-to-week basis. So this is the range where I usually stop taking wide receivers for a little and I build out the rest of my rosters. I get, my tight ends 2 and 3 because I think there's still a lot of high upside guys, and one of them is Mike Gesicki. If Tua takes that, step forward that we were just alluding to, I think that Gesicki could be a huge beneficiary of that. I mean, maybe the targets won't necessarily be there, but they could be.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. We were just talking about it. Dolphins offense is going to take a step forward in 2021. They're going to be
quietly loaded with talent.
Yeah. They had a lot of injuries last year too, so they're going to get all of those guys back healthy and a full year out of Tua. I think they're going to be a playoff team in 2021.
I will say, this isn't just like an anecdotal thing anymore. Hunter Henry is going ahead of Jonnu in every draft, and I'd be on the other side of that personally.
Yeah, I agree. This scumbag just stole Trevor Lawrence from me.
Wow. How do I go? See, I'm just gonna grab another. There we go.
Big 3 tight end guy.
The thing is I've got Patrick Mahomes, so I'm not drafting 3 quarterbacks. 3 tight ends makes a lot of sense. Give me 3 super athletic players right there. Higbee was the other guy I was considering. I love, really that whole tier there. Give me any 3 of them. Don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I took Higbee because I think there is a little bit of drop off after him. I mean,
I still like Jonnu. I like Jonnu as the last member of that tier.
Yeah, I like Jonnu too. But after that tier, I think it's a little bit of a drop off. And the Rams offense, I mean, we talked about it. It's going to be way better than last year. Stafford is going to air it out. Higbee's the only guy there now with Everett gone. So like Higbee a lot. And I mean, Gerald Everett, you could probably get him in the 20th round, and that's a pretty solid pick too.
I agree.
Him Gerald Everett 200 ADP. So yeah, probably not even being drafted. I like him. I like Anthony Ferkser from Tennessee as late round targets. I mean, God, those guys could finish as tight end ones.
Yep. Those 2, and then the last one in that group of guys that you can get in the last round every single time is Hollister, Jacob Hollister, who's with the Bills now. I mean, he may not be super consistent on a week-to-week basis, but that's going to be a team that's leading the NFL in pass attempts once again. Huge touchdown upside with Josh Allen. We saw it in spurts with a less talented player in Dawson Knox. So I like Hollister. He's free.
Got some decisions to be made. God, I don't know. I don't like any of these running backs. Just don't see the upside with any of them.
My boy. I can't hate that. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not as bullish, but maybe I should be.
I think
shouldn't blame them.
this year is to be bullish on the Jets guys.
Right.
Zach Wilson, I think he's a clear, obvious upgrade from Sam Darnold. New coaching staff that will actually let their players play and accumulate fantasy points. I think this is the year to be high on Mims, Crowder, Corey Davis, Chris Herndon.
Mm-hmm. I went with Daniel Jones there. I mean, made all the sense in the world. I think he has a lot of upside. He'll be my last quarterback that I draft. I already had Kenny G and Evan Ingram. Basically makes perfect sense to me in terms of roster construction. And I think he has as much or more upside than everybody left at the quarterback position. You know, Kirk, Baker, Big Ben, Tua. Like, I think Daniel Jones' upside is pretty loaded with that surrounding cast. And there's a couple other ancillary Giants guys still on the board that could find their way onto my team. We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, the Jets with Zach Wilson, I've been watching some tape of rookies over the last couple of days. Watch Zach Wilson's pro day at BYU, and he looked really good. Has a cannon on him, so I think he should elevate that Jets offense a little bit. And the guy that I'm going to take here with this next pick, unless you take him. God damn, it's been all night ends.
I'm going to take a guy right here who, I mean, the value I think is a little interesting. Going pretty far past ADP with this pick. Mike Williams in the 14th round.
He's just not a sexy pick. That's why he falls. I feel like he falls in every draft.
Shit, Justin Herbert's wide receiver 2 isn't sexy. It's pretty sexy to me. I don't know.
So we made a little TikTok about the Niners trading up, and we talked about it earlier. I have full conviction that they are going to draft Justin Fields. And Justin Fields is kind of Jalen Hurts.
Is that so?
A lot of rushing upside. Niners offense, if they draft him, I'm assuming they do. This is just totally out of assumption. They'll have Ayuk, Samuel, Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Kittle. Offense is going to be great. Kyle Shanahan, one of the best play callers in the league, with Justin Fields, who I think is a clear-cut upgrade over Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he's the starter if he gets drafted. Jimmy, he's gone. This is solely an assumption pick. Could backfire. Obviously going to draft another quarterback, but Fields' upside with his rushing ability, I think, puts him above all of these guys in this tier. If he starts, but you might not get 16 games out of him.
So at this point, you said you're planning on drafting another quarterback. Do you think you're also going to get a third tight end, or are you going to be happy to settle with the guys you've got and pile up another couple running backs?
Well, I got 1, 2, 3. I got 6 picks left, so probably gonna take another quarterback, another tight end, and then probably go 2 and 2. Get the 3, 5, 9, 3 build.
Man, there's a pick coming up here. I don't think you're sharp enough to snipe me, but maybe.
Gerald Everett, huh? I mean, who do you got? You got 2 quarterbacks, 4 running backs. I mean, you got to take a wide receiver. So I probably won't take him.
Little Jets stack. Little Jets double. Not bad, not bad. It's one of my favorite picks to make. I'm making it all the time. 15th round, Gabriel Davis. Clear path to being the wide receiver 2 in Buffalo right now.
So Emmanuel Sanders has something to say about it.
Stop. Boy, Emmanuel Sanders is like 45 years old.
But I think Crowder is undervalued in drafts every year.
Every single year.
Even without
DFS and every form of fantasy, this man is a stone value.
Like in the round 15, you're kind of just getting a PPR guy. And if he gets you 12, 13 points, that's going to probably be good enough to hit your starting lineup in best ball a lot of the time. So he's a value in redraft, dynasty, everything. So
Yeah.
I didn't mind drafting a second Jets wide receiver. Yeah.
I mean, he
What
quietly
could go
also
wrong?
had six touchdowns in only 12 games last year with a pretty bad quarterback in scheme. So,
I mean, I don't think Sam is bad. Adam Gase
well,
is bad. Adam
that's
Gase
fair.
is terrible.
That's fair.
So the Jets have to be better with Salah and LaFleur there now. Their offense, I think, should take a step forward, which will give these guys fantasy value.
I really like the turn that Krause took there with Darnell Mooney and Henry Ruggs in the 15th and 16th. I mean, those guys probably won't be in your lineup every single week, but they're going to give you those big 30-point weeks a couple times throughout the year that you need to win a tournament like this. I was hoping to grab Ruggs. I loved Ruggs going in the 16th round this year. But I'm going to take another guy, a rookie here who I think has some upside. I know that size is a concern with him, but I mean, explosiveness is not, and Rondale Moore.
Yeah. No, I like that pick a lot. God, should draft Godius.
Thought about him there, but
I think Christian Kirk is the pick here.
Really?
In the 16th round?
AJ Green's backup?
Backup. Christian Kirk is going to play in the slot now. Oh. And that's his position.
Oh.
That's where he's the best.
I thought he was the best downfield, right?
No,
that's how they were using him.
Yeah, which is not what he was good at at Texas A&M. At Texas A&M, he was a slot guy. So now he can go back to his natural position as a slot wide receiver on one of the best offenses in the NFL. And I'm not worried about AJ Green in 2021. Sorry. No.
AJ Green's still out there, I think.
So, I mean, I think my wide receiver core is pretty lit. If Christian Kirk is my wide receiver 9,
yeah,
think that's pretty solid. And he's a high, like you said, he's a downfield threat, pretty good speed. So in a best ball format where you need ceiling performances, he could win me a week.
He could. He absolutely could. I mean,
we saw a stretch three games in a row, 22, 20, 23. Kind of fell off here, which was disappointing. But that whole Cardinals offense just, for whatever reason, shit the bed.
Yeah.
All right, round 17, getting into the last couple of picks. So I have my next pick is coming up first. 2 quarterbacks, three running backs.
Yeah.
9 wide receivers, so I won't draft a wide receiver. So I'm looking at 1 more quarterback, 1 more tight end, and 2 running backs with my last 4 picks.
Solid roster construction right there. The quarterbacks and the tight end. I mean, we already talked about some of those tight ends that I think are pretty good picks in the final round with some decent upside. The quarterbacks, though,
yeah,
I guess you could take Zach Wilson and Trey Lance or Drew Lock, Mac Jones. Like they'll all probably get starting time. Jared Goff if you want, but that just seems, I don't know. I mean, you could always get Andy Dalton coming up here for your little Allen Robinson stack.
No shot.
No shot?
No shot.
Interesting.
I mean, Zach Wilson is a 16-game starter in 2021. It's that simple. I mean, I'll take the upside and young age of Zach Wilson over fucking Big Ben, Fitzpatrick, Carr, Kirk, Carson Wentz in the 17th round. I like I said, I've been watching tape on him. I think he's going to be special.
Went and took your boy Aguilar there. I mean, I don't know. They gave him a shitload of money.
Yeah.
He should get some targets this year, I hope.
Yeah.
As a wide receiver 8.
He will. But yeah, back to Zach Wilson. Yeah, I'd rather have him above Fitz, Carr, Big Ben, Jared Goff, Winston, Taysom Hill, Trey Lance, because he's not going to start, Jimmy G, any of these other guys. So
2 rookie quarterbacks for you.
Yeah, this is a young team.
Mm-hmm.
This is a younger team, but they're filled with players that I think are actually good and could be contributors right away. And at the quarterback position, I'm fine with 2 rookies. Zach Wilson, like I said, 16 games. He's starting. He's starting from the Jets day one. Like, they're going to draft him number 2, and he is the guy for the new regime. It's that simple. Because sometimes in these drafts, you gotta take stands somewhere. You gotta put your beliefs into play, and I believe that the Jets will trade Sam Darnold. And Zach Wilson is the guy. I believe that Justin Fields is the guy for San Fran, and he's going to come in, and if he doesn't start right away, he will eventually end up starting for Jimmy G, who has shown he can't stay healthy and has no upside with the 49ers, although the 49ers offense is pretty loaded with some really good players, and their defense is going to become healthy. They're another Super Bowl contender, obviously, 1 year or 2 years off of being in a Super Bowl. So,
So this pick I'm making right here is format related. If this were a playoff type of best ball tournament, I would have taken either Shepard or Godius there because, even though I have Kenny and Ingram, I'd be looking for that potential big week stacks at the end of the tournaments. But, Paris Campbell, I like him there. I love him. We talked about it recently.
Yeah, I like Paris Campbell too. I think he's the wide receiver too. For Indy, so I think right here I have to take a running back. Could go Cohen, could go Darrell Henderson. I probably have to go Cohen here in a PPR format. Could have went Darrell. And then I get all of the touches if Cam Akers goes down, and he did get injured last year. And he did suffer a couple of injuries at Florida State. So I don't mind Darrell as a late round flyer, but I think Tyreek Cohen is the pick in a PPR.
It's tough because this is like, I guess this is the part of the draft where I don't know which of these running backs I want to take a shot on yet. I'm not super bullish on any of these guys. I mean, they're
all trash.
Yeah, but somebody in here is going to end up falling into a lot of touches this year. I just don't know who it is yet.
I mean, a lot of these are injury related, though. Like Damien could see. I mean, if Latavius falls to me, I'm taking him right here.
All right, so I ain't even got to look at that then.
Yeah. As my RB5, I'll take a player that actually does play too. Like he's on the field to begin with, and if Camaro goes down for whatever reason, he's the RB1. But yeah, I have to go Latavius.
He's quietly getting up there in age at 31 years old, but he hasn't really seen a ton of touches year over year. So I'm not too worried about his body breaking down. To be honest, I'm going to take one more running back here. That'll close that out for me. I'm going to take a shot on a guy that I don't think anybody's really looking at, but could see his ADP spike as we get closer and closer to the season. New Bills running back, Matt Breida. I mean, you could definitely make the case that he's the most raw, talented running back on the Bills roster right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's better than Singletary. I think they're still going to play Moss because they drafted him. But I wonder if Tevin, did anybody draft Tevin?
No, not yet.
He's still not even being drafted. But, I mean, I'm not going to draft him. But I think he's
the full Jets team.
He's a solid 20th round pick if you need a running back.
Yeah. I also like Marlon Mack here. I think he's got some upside if he's one of those guys that if JT goes down, he could find himself in a really great spot. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
I'll take it.
20th round.
Sammy, wide receiver 2 in Baltimore.
That's kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
I got to take a tight end here. Just nobody really enticing, honestly.
Ferkser already went.
Yeah, I think people are going to start to be on those tight ends like Parham, Ferkser. I mean, I got to go with the Jets triple.
Well, Jets triple, hopefully. I mean, you got a pretty good chance there with Fields and Wilson landing the Jets starter. It's Wilson, right? It'll be Wilson.
It's 100% Wilson.
Okay.
Jared Goff, Sony Michel, Darrington Evans.
I don't hate Darrington Evans as a last round pick, to be honest.
Kadarius Toney, and another rookie, Tylan Wallace. All right, that is the end of the draft.
Let's take a look at our two teams here.
All right, my team's on the screen right now. So, I mean, yeah, the theme of my team is just young players that I personally believe have upside for 2021. I mean, we talked about it. Fields, Wilson, I think they'll be starters this year. So I'll have 3 quarterbacks that are young, talented, have good pieces in their offense. And they all have rushing upside. Running backs, I'm fine with the 3 running back build in the beginning, then just fill out the rest of your roster with some high upside wide receivers and some good tight ends. Fine with A-Rob as my wide receiver 1. High on Robert Woods, high on Deontay Johnson, Chark, obviously Trevor Lawrence, Urban Meyer incoming, Devontae Parker. Filled out the rest of my roster, stacked with Hurts, stacked with Wilson. This is probably my favorite team that I've drafted so far.
I would say I like your team quite a bit here, actually. Yeah. It may not have the highest floor, but that literally does not matter in this format. Like the ceiling is what you need, and it looks like you've got that at pretty much every position, if you ask me. So
yeah,
big fan of this roster.
Yeah,
the only thing I know that you got sniped on Trevor Lawrence, which would have been nice for that DJ Chark stack, but nothing you can do there.
Yeah, I was gonna take Trevor in this 13th round, but he went right here, so couldn't get him. I ended up taking Mims instead.
Mm-hmm.
And then
got my team up there, and I'll be honest, I'm a pretty big fan of my team as well here. Went with 2 quarterbacks, 3 tight ends, 5 running backs, and 10 wide receivers on this build. Got the Mahomes to Tyreek stack, got the Danny Dimes to Galladay and Evan Ingram stack, and just took a bunch of shots at high upside wide receivers: Odell, Robbie, Gabriel Davis, Paris Campbell, like Sammy Watkins, a bunch of guys late. I think the biggest pivotal point of this team is if Javonte Williams is going to pay off that 5th round pick, because if he is a legit, high end running back 2, running back 1 type, this team is absolutely stacked. If I'm, solely depending on Akers and Robinson, AJ Dillon, Matt Breida, I don't know. Javonte Williams, I think, is sort of the building block of this team. I really need that pick to hit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because it'll be tough to only have basically Akers and Robinson as your only running backs if Javonte doesn't hit. Well, other than that, I like your wide receivers, like your tight ends. Obviously, Mahomes at quarterback is elite. So I think 2 pretty solid teams that we drafted.
Starting to get pretty decent at this. Couple drafts deep, our teams are starting to look a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, just in these drafts before the NFL draft, you got to take stands somewhere with these rookies. And I mean, like you just talked about Javonte in the 5th round. I got a couple rookies in Pitts and Fields and Wilson that I'm personally high on. And I think come August, come September, when the redraft leagues start, when the fantasy football content starts getting pumped out like crazy. A guy like Zach Wilson, a guy like Pitts, a guy like Javonte, a guy like Fields, you're not going to get them. You're not going to get Zach Wilson in the 17th. Okay, you're not going to get Fields in the 14th or Pitts in the 9th, almost the 10th round. Like these are all going to be risers. So I'm just taking advantage of the ADP while it's out there. And I think also some of these guys that you got, like some of these tight ends, like no, they're going to be higher. Evan Ingram, he's not a 12th round tight end. I think he's like an 8th, 9th round tight end. Kenny Galladay is in the 6th round wide receiver. I don't care who his quarterback is. Yeah, so it's good to take advantage of this soft ADP at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And, to that point about rookies, I said it in the beginning of the stream, but we are going to be joined by Matt Hicks, aka the FF Educator, on the Thursday episode of our podcast this week. So make sure you guys check that out. It'll be on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and every other podcast platform. I'm going to be talking about rookies, looking at some of these ADPs right here and getting a professional opinion on whether or not these guys should be going, and maybe some guys that aren't even on our radar, 19th, 20th round picks, guys that we need to be looking at. So make sure you check out the next episode of the podcast. Is that all we got? Anything else?
No.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back next week, Monday, drafting again.